What up, what up? I've been thinking about certain thought process I've been having lately, and I thought I'd share it. Thought I'd share. A little man's with me, a little woman. We still ain't found that out yet. Anyways, the possibility is just as real as the reality. What do I mean by this? The possibility is just as real as the reality. Let's think about that for a second. The possibility is just as real as the reality. Okay. Your reality is what you see in front of you right now. It's the concrete. You can feel it. I can touch it. They say that your reality is the collection of all your experiences. Your now and present moment is the collective is the collection of all your past experiences, right? But the possibility, though, the possibilities. What are the possibilities? Well, the possibilities would be all the outcomes that haven't happened yet. And you would think to yourself, like, okay, well, those haven't happened yet. These possibilities are just in my mind. They're just, whether they're good or bad, these are just certain outcomes that my mind is now calculating and going over. And while some people would be like, oh, that's just in your head, or, why be focused on that? You have the tangible reality in front of you to focus on. I would beg to say that, well, not beg, but I'm a little opposed to that, because the reality that you in was once also a possibility. You see what I'm saying? Like, and so I was thinking about this, like, damn, okay, I'm in this mindset, I'm thinking about this. Then I'm just like, this really shows itself. Like, what's an example I can use to show this? What's an example I could use to show that sometimes the possibilities that we have in our mind can be more real than the reality we're actually even seeing and witnessing? If you've ever been in a relationship before, and you getting blamed for cheating when you really wasn't cheating, or just whatever, it's not necessarily that you did anything wrong. It's just that in that person's mind, and in just the collaboration of having a relationship, that is a possibility. You see what I'm saying? So it's really interesting how it's like in this life we work off, it's almost like we're working off the possibilities. It's like, okay, it's like in this human experience, for me, it's like we how do I put this? It's like okay, like for instance, I remember I do this dude. I knew one of the dudes I was cool with, and he was very like, how do I put it? Like, trying to analyze all the possibilities. Like, trying to analyze, okay, but what if this happened? But what if this happened? But what if this happened? But it's like, none of those things are happening. None of that is going on. But it's like, you're letting your mind get on this, like, quantum possibilities where you're just like, you okay? You're letting your mind just, like, go to all these possibilities. And even though they're not tangible in your reality, the fact that they're still coming up in your mind, it's still somewhat real to you. It's still somewhat part of your reality in a way. Because a lot of decisions and the actions that we make are based off of what's going on in here, what's going on in the mental. And if, from my list of possibilities that I'm seeing, depending on the experience I'm having, I'm going to go based off of that, not based off of all of the time what my reality is showing me. How many times of like, you know, for example, another example, I remember one time, this was in Charlotte, me and my friend went to IHOP. Get us some breakfast. And I don't know whether they was on some racist shit. I don't know what they was on, but they was literally in there acting like we was about to rob the place. Like they was acting like we was about to steal something out of there, or like they were just doing a whole bunch of unnecessary, just like actions towards us. Like the whole energy was just weird in there. You could tell like, oh, okay, they're projecting like we're gonna do something bad in here. I don't know if they thought because we was black we was gonna start wilding and we was gonna start acting a fool in there. But like paid for my meal. Matter of fact, my friend paid for my meal, left a tip. Would have left even a bigger tip if we would have been treated correctly in there. But it's like because of the possibilities in their mind of what they thought was going to happen, they acted in that way when in reality nothing happened. Like we didn't go in there on no bullshit. We was very respectful. It's like if you like think like these like that's I really had to sit back and really think about this. Like just all the times of miscommunication and misunderstandings. It's really just you're going off of the possibilities instead of what's actually happening in reality. And it's no different than like, oh, I don't think he or she like me. I don't think he or she like me. And you're basing that off of, you know, how insecure you feel about yourself, how you feel like that person might be higher than you or on another level than you. And then come to find out, no, that person was peeping you. You was just tripping. Like you're just in your head too much, thinking of all these unnecessary possibilities that aren't true. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it is good. That's why the mind is so powerful, because it can perceive and kind of already analyze things to a point where you might be 70% right on how a situation might go or how an experience might go. But at the same time, you should always leave space. You should always leave space for... You should always leave that percentage level that, like, I don't know everything. You should always leave that percentage level of just chaos, of just anything could happen. You know, maybe every time you have an experience with this person, it's a bad experience. Person been working on himself, now it's a good like you could like this how we go into things kind of thinking negatively just off of the possibilities in our mind that hasn't even manifested itself in reality. Oh, like I don't want to go to this party because like you're thinking of all these possibilities, ain't nothing happened. You ain't even been to the party yet and you already thinking of negative things that can happen. You see what I'm saying? Like the possibilities are just as real as the reality. And it's different to think that just because it's like, okay, this is reality. Like, what are you talking about? But it's like, no, but your reality is ever changing based off your decisions, based off of what's going on up here. So it's like if you're not tuning your mind in a way where it's manifesting good, it's being just real with itself, it's being real with who you're being real with who you are, the mindset that you have. I feel like that's what brings greater clarity in the possibilities. So instead of you having a mindset where it's like more negative, more like a negative analytical mindset where it's more like, oh, I think this could happen now, what if this happens, what if this happens, what if this happens, I feel like And I know where that comes from. It's really just like a safety mechanism because the body and the mind don't want to, the mind doesn't want you to go through hurt and pain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for the mind, it's on some shit like I'm trying to protect you. Like I don't see it as like me being negative or me overanalyzing things. It's just trying to protect you. But in a way, it can be harming you because now that negative analytical mind stops you from experiencing life. It stops you from taking chances. It creates a shoulda, coulda, woulda mind where, damn, I should have said something to her, or should have said something to him, or I should have reacted in that way. And because of how your mind is on some just negative analyzing shit, it's like, no, because that could happen. No, because that can happen. Meanwhile, everybody else living their life around you. You see what I'm saying? So, like, we got to get real. Me personally, like, these is videos for myself. I'm getting better with that. Actually, I need to be more analytical. I be taking nothing but chances. But yeah, for all the over analytical people, I would just say, like, know where that comes from. Know that does come from, even though it might seem like a negative trait, it does come from a good place because you're just trying to protect yourself. But I would say the switch that I would say, like, okay, instead of me kind of thinking instead of me going straight to negative, like all the bad things that could happen in this experience, let me be more on some preparing myself. You see what I'm saying? Let me be more on some. That's why it's very good to be secure in yourself, because when you're secure in yourself, it helps you deal with a multitude of experiences correctly. Instead of when you're insecure in yourself, you're constantly questioning yourself and questioning your foundation in self. Like, you're constantly questioning the people around you. You're constantly questioning, like, that's just too much. That doesn't create a pleasurable human experience. So my thing is preparing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, instead of me thinking like, okay, what if this date goes bad, or what if this concert goes bad, or what if this experience goes bad? Okay, what am I? Okay, before I get to this experience, because I do have time to prepare myself for experience before I go to it. What are some things I can do to prepare myself? Instead of thinking negatively, instead of going straight to like, oh, I'm just gonna cut it all off because this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen and this. No, okay, what are some things I can do to prepare myself so that way those possibilities don't come into fruition, or they don't have a high percentage rate to manifest. So for example, if I know I'm about to perform in front of a whole lot of people, okay, well, instead of me going to the mindset of, nah, I'm gonna suck, I'm gonna forget my lines, I'm gonna just fuck it all up. No, okay, well, let me prepare myself. Let me do some things I can do to prepare myself right now, so that way, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't happen. And then me preparing myself and taking that time, and thank you, mind, for listening as a possibility, because you're just trying to help. You're just trying to help. You're not trying to, you know, make me depressed or nothing. You're just trying to prepare me for all the possibilities and outcomes that could arise in my future. So what's some things I could do? Okay, I can practice. I can memorize my lines. I can memorize the songs. I can do these things so that way, okay, that outcome or that possibility is no longer that high of a percentage rate to manifest. Because at the end of the day, all of this is chaos. We're bringing order to it. We're bringing order to this chaos called life. So to me, with a lot of things that we experience, it's really just percentage rate. Am I doing the things? Am I doing enough? Am I making moves for myself that pertain to the possibilities of my mind to create a better outcome for myself? Instead of just negatively thinking, get more on some prepared shit. Okay, that might be an outcome. Okay, I'm gonna prepare myself for it. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just straight negative path, straight shutdown path, and you nor the world around you wins from that type of mindset. So that's it, y'all. Peace.